It is March 2025 and it is Women's History Month. And so I thought this month we would just celebrate some of the women who are women in WordPress. And today I'm talking to Jenifer Miller. Hi, Jenifer.
Hi, great to be
Well,
here.
it's nice to have you here. Thank you. And you're my first one. So thank you for your trust in the
Very
process here.
exciting.
I appreciate it. Tell us, I know we said your name, but what do you do in WordPress? Who do you work for? Where are you located in the world? Give us a little bit of the 411 on who you are.
Sure, happy to. Yeah, I'm a freelancer and I build WordPress websites for small businesses generally.
Mhm.
I love focusing on more like the brick and mortar like community businesses, but I'm flexible. I'm located in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and I've been playing with WordPress for pretty close to 20 years, like
Ooh,
a long time.
early
But
adopter.
yeah, I enjoyed building websites, from scratch and then
Mhm.
playing with WordPress for hobbies and just for fun. And then in the last several years, I've wanted to get into this more as a business. And
Mhm.
so I got my first few clients and but I have kids who are now middle school age, but when they're younger, it's harder. And so but I'm ready now to kind of dive in and do more. So I'm trying to reach out and find more clients and just I really enjoy helping people and I love working within WordPress. And so I'm out here doing this and seeing how it goes.
Oh, that's awesome. Ann Arbor, so you get winters too, like I do. But it's
We
I'm
do,
looking forward to spring, which is a good thing.
for sure.
Why WordPress? Why is WordPress your tool of choice?
Well, I guess to be honest, it was around early, and so I
Mhm.
started with it early. Um, but I do find it really pretty straightforward to work with. Like it can do a lot, and I'm sure there's so much I don't even know that I don't know. But for what I'm doing with it, it's there are great tools out there. I love that it's that there's a lot of open source. There's a lot of people who are
Mhm.
creating content that they're not trying to monetize. And then some of them I mean, some of the stuff is monetized too, and that's also fine. But I just find that it's a really robust platform that has can do anything I've ever wanted it to do. Pretty easy to learn, and then there's so much it can do so much that there's always more to learn. And when I find something, I'm like, I wonder if I could do that. It turns out I can almost always.
I
So
love
it's a great
it.
platform.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. Um, Other women who are thinking about joining the WordPress and tech communities and starting a career doing the kinds of things that you do, what would just a small piece of advice to those women be?
That's a great question. And like I said, I'm kind of on the starting outside, so I don't have like long-term advice. But when I decided to focus on this like really as more of a money-making career and not just a side hustle or a hobby, I figured I should learn some more. Like I had everything I had done was just sit down and play around with things and see what happens. Which
Yeah.
was fine because it wasn't somebody's bread and butter. It wasn't for money. But when I decided to jump into this, I found a couple of really good online courses because what I realized was that I did not know what I did not know. And just,
Yeah.
when I started taking some like beginner to intermediate level classes in how to use WordPress and how to build websites, I was introduced to a lot of kind of the more technical tools of like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. That makes things so much easier.
Yeah.
But also things like accessibility wasn't on my radar 5 to 10 years
Mhm.
ago, and now it's such a big deal. And so as I learn more and more about how to do best practices and also how to reach the most people, like learning more before you jump in, but then also just keep learning. Like that's I keep going and learning new stuff because it's always changing and I can't know it all.
I love it. That actually is really good advice. You're never going to know everything, so focus on the things you need when you need them. So I
Right.
think that's fantastic. Thank you, Jenifer. Thank you so much for joining us today, being one of the women that we're celebrating in WordPress this month, and encouraging other women to do the same. It's been good to talk
Yeah,
to
thank
you.
you, Michelle. That was
My
great fun.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks.